What were the biggest dreams for your church that you could imagine when you started?
Well, I think looking back, it's always such a fun exercise, right? To look at the faithfulness and the consistency of God. And God always does exceedingly, immeasurably more than we could ever ask, think, or imagine. I worked for my dad for many years, and we saw God do some really incredible things even in those 8 years as young adult pastors. I remember quickly, like about 2 years into our journey as young adult pastors, just this holy momentum coming on what we were doing and it beginning to grow and beginning to accelerate. And it started just teaching me about who God was in my life. And as we start to create space, how God starts bringing miracles about. And so when we were starting the church, I think we had high hopes and big hopes. I don't believe that we saw all that we see today. I don't think we imagined all that in such a short amount of time. But I will say, I think that I don't know everything about God, but I know enough about God that he shows up in bigger and better ways. And so
Amen.
I think I'm in some spaces right now where he actually hit 9 years this month.
That's right.
So it'll be our 9th anniversary.
Come on, man.
And I think we're dreaming bigger than ever before.
Yes.
And I need God to show up like never before. But anytime we have a birthday like this, it's always such a beautiful time to reflect.
Yes.
And look at God, man.
Yes.
And I'm here. Last night I was at your birthday and getting around to be around your team, and man, you can just see God's fingerprints on all of it. The culture and the people and the joy, the zeal. It's really, really exciting, man. So I'm honored to be here.
That's huge. That's huge. What you're saying, I've been referring to this as prophetic hindsight.
Ooh.
I know it's kind of a crazy phrase.
No, I like that
But
phrase.
I've been calling it prophetic hindsight because I think a lot of times when we talk about being prophetic, we're talking about insight. Like, oh, I know what God's doing right now. Or we're talking about foresight. Like, here's what God's about to do. And we're prophesying that. But one of the things I've been encouraging my team in is prophetic hindsight. Like, go back and review things that have happened in your past, but with the Holy Spirit. Like, don't go back and just review it through the lens of your pain or your hurt or your trauma. But I want you to actually go back and review it in prayer with God so that you can remember what actually was happening when God was building in you, what he built in you in that moment of your trial, because it's produced the oil that you're currently functioning in. And that season helped you to become the leader you are today. So I think it's really good to practice prophetic hindsight.
I think it's a really great exercise for any leader out there. Steve Jobs used to say it this way. He said, you can never connect the dots looking forward. It's only looking backwards. I think it's Kierkegaard who says that, faith is meant to operate in the future, but man, it's only in looking backwards in retrospect that I can see how my faith did work.
Yeah.
And life has to be lived forwards, but it's so much easier to interpret it backwards. And for me, I think that's a really, really great habit. I try to do that often on a grand scale, but also on the small scale.
Yeah.
It's God's past performance that's going to encourage me in his future provision.
Come on, man.
And all of us need to go back and look at that. And I think for me, a fun exercise is like, yo, Lyle, what were you really worried about last year? Like, we're in September now. I don't know when this is airing. And it's 2024. But like, if you could go back to September of 2023, something was on the top of your mind that you were worried about. There was pressure. There was some sort of an anxiety. There was something you were celebrating. There was something you were happy about. It's interesting to put ourselves back into that place 1 year ago and go, whoa, got over that thing. Or I don't even remember that thing, or I forgot that thing.
Come on.
And I think that is the great sign of growth. That's the great sign of maturity, is that like, I know I'm going to be crying tears again this year. I know there's going to be mountains. I just don't want them to be the same tears that I cried last year.
Yes, sir.
I want to have learned from that.
Yes, sir.
We're working on a project back home. We've got a couple projects going home, but we're doing a big build out at one of these buildings that we have in construction. There's so many metaphors and things that you see, but we're blowing out the south entrance and putting these new glass windows in and all this framework. And the guy who put the glass in, shout out, hopefully he's not listening, he missed 3 of the inspections. And so the inspectors come in from the city and they're trying to inspect this thing. Well, bro, finally I heard that he missed this 3rd one. And it's like, it's costing us money. And so he's never heard from me. But I left a voice note. It was kind and it was straightforward. But in the voice note, I gave a truth that I live my life by. I was like, hey man, look, there's been a lot of delays with this project. There's been a lot of problems. They're not all your fault and it wasn't all on you, but I'm at a place right now that I can't have any more problems or any more delays. I'm okay with mistakes. Let's make mistakes.
Yeah.
Let's not make the same mistakes. when I hear that you're not showing up 3 times in a row as a professional, I don't do business that way. But I want to have that same kind of standard for my life.
That's good.
I don't want to keep worrying about the same thing or keep going to God in fear when God's already proven to me time and time again, Rich, I show up. And so I'm going to cry some tears, but could they be new tears?
Yes.
Could it be new mountaintops? Could it be new challenges and new obstacles? Or am I just going to be that kind of guy who never learns my lesson?
Yes.
I think our faith suffers when we forget.
Wow.
And so moments like this anniversary service, this is where we put a memorial stone, an Ebenezer, the God who helps, the God who shows up. And it's always his past performance, man, that gives me fuel to keep moving forward.
Man, that's so good. I don't know about you, but God's batting 1,000 in my life.
Woo!
You know, if I remember that every time I step to the plate, I can have a lot of confidence because I know he's not going to let us down.
Whew.
Bro, it's so good, man. You should preach. Well, you should be a preacher, bro.
I'm thinking about it.
You know?
I get around you and I go, maybe I'll just come and help this guy, man. Maybe I'll come be an armor bearer, man.
That's kind.
Perhaps. Do whatever's in your heart. I'm with you, heart and soul.
How you gonna hit that word like that? Do you know I preach that message a lot, and I use perhaps as like a big point, like perhaps God can do it.
God can do it.
Have you been listening to my sermons, Pastor Rich?
Powerful, perhaps.
Powerful. With
I preached that back in 2011, bro.
I stole it from you.
I ain't new to this, man. Like doing that, like challenging it. I don't know, but that sticks with me. No, I just did a wedding in Brazil, and
humble brag.
Yeah.
Okay, Brazil.
I only do weddings on foreign soil. What? No, anyone who uses the word foreign, by the way, you got to be careful with that. But I took his dear friends of mine. You might have met him, Bijan and Julia. And Bijan's name means brave, and Julia's name means young. And
wow.
One of my favorite things to do at weddings, by the way, you can do this as a great hack, is I like to try to take something, because I think marriage is new creation, not completion.
Yes.
So I always try to take something about that person and combine them. So sometimes I'll take their traits and I'll be like, so you are, it's a really cool thing.
I like this.
Just because a marriage is like, it's not completion, this is new creation.
Yes.
So now let me tell you who you are. It's brave, committed, young, passionate love, whatever the thing is.
Wow.
But I used a bunch of heart and soul stuff because I was talking about the bravery of it all. And that I think a real marriage, I use their names as the outline for what a marriage needs.
I like that a lot. I will steal that.
Take it.
I do
powerful.
Steal a lot of things from you,
dude,
and I want you to know that. And I'm very honest about it.
You're a licensed dealer, bro. Are you kidding me?
An AD, an authorized dealer. Like,
well, I know you come from the streets, and so I want to give some street talk.
Yeah, know? Of course, I understand that. Yeah. I appreciate that church, respect.
Bro, you know,
yeah. Bro, when I was on your podcast,
from the crack house to the White House, like, yeah. You can actually use that line when it comes to the election.
I've never been to the White House, though. I don't know if they let me in there.
We need Jesus from the crack house to the White House.
Oregon.
It's the church house.
It's the church house.
Oh, sorry, I'm cutting you off.
No. This is perfect. This is exactly what we did on your podcast, which I was so shocked by the way, because I was so nervous. We had never met.
Yeah,
Rich,
but it was
you started following me on Instagram the night before. Maybe I shouldn't bring that up publicly.
My fault.
Yeah, it's okay.
But maybe
my feelings were only slightly hurt. Thank God for prophetic hindsight.
I was a huge fan. I told you the first time I saw you, though, right?
No.
I never told you the first time I saw you.
No. When did you see me?
The first time I saw you.
How did we meet?
Maybe, by the way, I'm also known to like get facts wrong. The first time I remember seeing you was like you and the guys, I guess, Upper Room Dallas. I don't know any of these people, by the way, but you guys are just like in some round and you guys are like just praying or something.
Getting after it.
Right?
That was here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my boy, you, right? Michael Miller, pastor.
I never met him.
From Upper Room Dallas. Shout out. You would love him, man.
But like Dante's singing and you're like,
yep.
Lord, the glory.
The glory.
And
yeah, bro.
It's different kind of praying. That? I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. I learned to pray in the backwoods churches of West Kentucky. So that's how they all pray up there. It's
beautiful.
And, yeah, it is.
You ever read any of Richard Foster's work? Like if you're
Of course.
I think it's really powerful when he talks about prayer and like learning how to pray and praying with other people.
I think his book on prayer is like the seminal work on prayer. Like I love it. In fact, I'd be more than happy to drop all of my notes in the show notes on that book because I've written like a recap of every single chapter of that book because I love it so much. I love prayer, bro. I mean, that we shared this on your podcast, so we'll share the link in there, but like that's how, I came into the kingdom. I didn't know a lot about a lot, but I knew that God was real and present. And so for me, a lot of what I've learned about leadership has come from a lot of great leaders, but honestly, a lot of prayer and a lot of trial and error. Because God told me when I first planted, you may not always feel prepared, but you can always be dependent.
Ooh.
And so you don't have to be prepared. That's not a prerequisite to becoming a world changer, but you have to be surrendered. That's a prerequisite to changing the world and writing history with the Holy Spirit. So it's probably not the best leadership maxim that I could share, but I know it's the most effective for me.
I think it's the best if you're trying to honor the Lord. I think it's the best if you're trying to get a word from God. I think it's the best if you're trying to pastor. Mm-hmm. I think that's the heart that God's looking for. I think that God's always working, and I think we need to pay attention to the signs, the time, and the moments. And so I don't think that legacy needs to go back to that place, and it's going to be about the quantity, but I think that heart and that desire and that fresh love and that first love, keeping that is what I think is going to steer you guys always in the right direction.
Amen, bro. One of the things that I have been very fascinated by as a pastor is how I'm marketed to.
Okay.
Like as a pastor. And I feel like what a lot of pastors get told is that unless their church is big and they have a massive platform online, like through social media, they're not successful. And I know that you've had the opportunity to be in all kinds of different spaces and meet a lot of different people. And I guess my question is, like, given those experiences, like, how have they impacted you? Like, I know you married Kim and Kanye. Like, that's a massive thing. Like, that happened on a massive, scale, I suppose. Like, what are your thoughts on that? And how would you share with younger pastors or pastors that are getting their start that look at some of the things that you've done, some of the people you've ministered to, some of the people you're connected with, and they're like, I'm not successful unless a celebrity shows up at my church, or I'm not successful unless I have 100,000 followers on social media. Like, is that a conversation you're having? And if so, like, how would you encourage pastors, to have that conversation? I don't know if this is an easy question or a weird question.
Well, I think it's a big question in terms of, because I think there's a bit of diagnosis as well as maybe somewhat of what we think that the solution or the answer is.
Yeah.
I think we all have like our own journey. I think we have our own calling in our own spaces. I think, kind of to backtrack, I think it's good to say out loud, like, none of those things that maybe I've been known for or been talked about were really ever in my realm of like desire or like psyche or intention.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm better than that either. It's just I never sat down and go, God, give me an open door with celebrities.
Right.
I have prayed a lot of prayers like, God, give me an open door to speak to people of influence and affluence. And I want to, God, bring me before kings,
Me
Lord.
too, yeah.
God, give me a heart for all people, Lord. Wherever you want to take me, Lord, I want to be ready in season and out of season. I think on the journey of all of that, you learn. What concerns me is that what we celebrate is what gets repeated. So I think what I would want to say to every pastor and leader out there and every person is that if your only metric and your only standard is going to be social media, and if we're just going to celebrate the same things that the world celebrates, which is views, likes, and clicks, well, then you're going to always feel really defeated. You're going to feel always really disappointed because there's always another place to grow and go into. Yeah. I'm traveling with a friend of mine, Richard, who you met earlier, and he was on a podcast the other day. And the podcast, they were talking about it's like that he went on. It did really, really well. And it was like higher than normal. And he was telling me kind of like the origin story of this podcast. It's like in the hair world because he's a hairstylist.
Sure.
We just talking about like the idea, like you've got to just be faithful to the thing that you have. If it's 300 views or 1,000 views or 20 views, I'm really into consistency and faithfulness, but the world sort of only knows how to celebrate one thing, which is big and exciting.
What you got going big.
What you got going big. We can talk about that in a moment too.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really dangerous metrics. I think the way that you measure things can be very, very dangerous. And so what you keep celebrating, what you get celebrated for, ultimately keeps getting repeated. And I think there's a lot of folks, and I think I can fall victim to this, you can fall victim to this, that we begin trying to get validation from other people and other things that are outside of God. And this is easy to preach, but it's really, really difficult to live out. I'm always looking for like language going, so how do I safeguard myself? It's so important, especially in the ministry, that we stay more fixated on the blesser than we do the blessing.
Amen.
The gift giver instead of the gift. And here's maybe 2 handles that might be helpful for those that are listening. How do I know when I've become more fixated on my gift or my skill or my thing versus the gift giver? I think this has happened because one of 2 things will result. You will either feel expendable or you'll feel entitled.
Wow.
Let's give 2 other words for it. You'll either feel superior or you'll feel inferior.
Man.
When you are being led by either one of those emotions, feelings, you are not operating being led by the Spirit. You're being led by your flesh.
Right.
You are stepping into some uncharted territory that will only become dangerous. Let's take one over the other. Let's take expendable or inferior. I think one of the greatest examples in the world is Vincent van Gogh. Van Gogh is one of the greatest painters the world has ever seen. But he never sold any of his paintings during his life for more than a couple $100. Over 2,000 paintings. No one bought it. No one celebrated him. No one cared. Guess what he thought to himself? I'm a failure.
Yeah.
He lived most of his life in abject poverty. He lived his life with all sorts of mental illness, a lot of it having to do with think that he was a failure because no one celebrated it. No one could see it.
Didn't he cut off his ear?
Well, yeah, that happened. But at 37, the story goes that he took his own life with being shot in the chest.
Wow.
Dies by suicide. Bro, you're the greatest painter we've seen in the last 300 years. You're going to go down in books of history. It's just not going to happen on your timetable. Well, here it is. I'm fixated. I feel expendable. I feel inferior. That's why any levels of we got to be careful because we kind of don't know how to integrate our wins with God's greatness. And we kind of, hey, good job, Lyle. All glory to God. Yeah. But he also used your vocal cords, bro. Your voice is hoarse, right? Yeah. God chose to use you. So how do I integrate these things? You shouldn't walk away feeling inferior. The other side of it's like an entitled thing, which is, I'm all in Samson right now. I've been preaching back home. So Samson defeats 1,000 men with a jawbone. He gets done and he gives praise to himself and the jawbone. He never thanks God. He thanks with a jawbone. I slayed 1,000 men. Well, brah. With God's help. So this entitled, my gift's always there. I can do it however I want. And I feel superior or inferior. And so those 2 lanes to me are really good red flags. Rich, why are you walking in this space feeling inferior or feeling expendable? Oh, because somebody else hasn't validated that what God put inside of you matters. Oh, someone hasn't liked it. Oh, you don't have a celebrity. You don't have a big church. Come on, man. God gave me this. Or I'm better than. This will always be there. I lose my gratitude. So Ban and I were having this conversation last night because there was some concern even around what we're talking about. I feel like so many of the young guys coming up, what they mimic, what they repeat is what they see celebrated. And sometimes they sort of are getting all the wrong things, or they're being attracted to the part that's no, there's an order to this, and you're mimicking or repeating the wrong things. What would you say the answer is that? I don't think it's us pointing out, you're wrong, your motives are wrong. I think it's like someone who's studying currency. They don't study counterfeit currency.
Right.
They study the real currency.
The real thing.
I think it's so important for places like Legacy to go, let's fight for health. Let's celebrate right motivation. Let's celebrate, we want to celebrate your gift, but we want to celebrate humility. We want to celebrate integrity. We want to platform character.
Yes, sir.
We want to do real life and walk with people. And I think people get drawn to that. They start repeating, not the counterfeit, they start repeating the real thing a little bit. So I think these questions come at me. That's why I'm saying I'm all over the place. I'm not letting you talk, but there's a lot there to it, because it's we can talk about celebrity culture and we can talk about you're known for this or that. And some of the things I'm known for is not even what I want to be known for.
Right.
You feel me? It's
I feel you. Yes.
So you have to even kind of die to that. I think I'm a lot more than a book cover or who I married or what friend I was. I've been doing this job for 18 years. And if I'm not careful, I can try to even rage against that. It's I don't know why the Lord put those things. I don't know why those things open up doors. I don't know why I did a reality show. And some people go, you're shallow. It's I'm not going to prove my life. I can't live my life trying to prove that I'm deep. I got to keep being comfortable with what God's put in my hand. I'm not inferior and I'm not superior. Hopefully I'm humble.
Man, this is fire.
And hopefully I'm connected to Jesus. And hopefully over time you'll see the fruit of my life. And hopefully anyone who gets in my orbit, I'm not pointing out that's wrong and that's a red flag. Hopefully I'm going, wow, this is healthy. And I want to repeat this. And when I come to VOUS, when I get around the Wilkersons or when I get around Lyle, it's you ever heard C.S. Lewis? I was just on a thing the other day. I was talking about this. You ever heard C.S. Lewis's quote on humility?
I don't know. Remind me.
It's like so dope, and maybe
It's
I can
the one.
find it. It's just the way he writes it all. And I just was literally on a podcast the other day, and I did the same thing, so I feel dumb doing it. But he just talks about like humility being like, when you're with somebody humble, like they're not thinking about humility. Oh, they're not thinking about themselves at all.
At all. Yeah.
That's the bar. It's like,
Yeah.
hopefully I can answer any of these questions, because it's like, hopefully when I'm doing this stuff, I'm not
trying to pretend to be anything other than you are. I don't remember which NBA coach said this. You'll like it though.
Sorry, I went for so long just now.
Bro, come on, man. This is your podcast, man. Right. The world is your oyster. We're just so happy to have you. This NBA coach, he said this. He said, when I get around a small leader, I feel how important they are. But when I get around a big leader, I feel how important I am.
Very good.
And that's the kind of leader I want to be. You know, we can't apologize for what we've received for free. It's an inheritance. Like, you didn't do anything to deserve being in those spaces aside from posture your heart to be the type of person that God would want to use to place in those spaces to bless people. And it's wild to me, bro, because since I was on your podcast in January, thank you, by the way, for allowing me to be a part of the Mature Me podcast. Check it out on YouTube. Comment,
massive.
like, and subscribe.
Huge following in Manila right now. You wouldn't get it.
It's massive overseas. That's where Rich does weddings, by the way.
We're really big, like in like the kind of the Scandinavian area.
Yeah.
I got a huge following in Norway.
Beautiful place to do weddings.
Yeah, gorgeous. I only do weddings overseas now.
Only. Yeah. I did see you were doing one in like Paris or France or somewhere like that last year. And you gave a treatise on Acts chapter 8 from some kind of balcony that was fire, to be honest with you. And then you preached from Acts at the VOUS leaders lunch. I'm leaving some of what I was going to say. But all of that was great because, and here's how we'll tie it back.
I got to tell you a story about that too, but keep going. Yeah.
No, you're going to have to tell the story because I was going to segue into what you got going big, which I think that message really impacted me. And I think it connects to what we're talking about because this guy like walked up to you at that wedding.
I'll tell both stories. One story that you'll just think it's funny that I don't think the listeners really care about. But at that wedding in Florence, those were really good friends. These days, it's all good friends. So I don't think they'll mind telling the story. But we did like Acts, like 15 weeks on Acts this year. We didn't get through it, by the way. I think we got to Acts 15.
Why'd you do that?
I did 6 months in the book of Mark one time.
I did 6 months in the book of Acts in 2023.
You did?
Yeah.
We've always been like, that's a funny thing. I think that people with VOUS, they think we're only topical or we're only like series driven. We've done all sorts of things where we're like, we've always done book studies and leaning in and our form of expository teaching. I want to be careful as I say that because someone's like, you've never been expository in your life, but
that's not true.
But we're just walking through it. And so anyways, we were at this wedding in Florence, good friends. And I think that weekend we were preaching the eunuch.
Okay.
Which is it Acts 8? I'm off right now.
I can't remember the exact chapter.
And so what that thing was, I did that funny treaty.
Yeah.
And then they said, can you, this is so dumb. This is such preacher talk and only Lyle will appreciate it. Everyone else is going to be mad.
No, hey, pastors are going to watch this.
Hey, Rich, can you somehow fit Acts 8 and the eunuch into this wedding ceremony? I said, of course I can.
Stop. Not the eunuch.
I got the eunuch.
How, baby? How did you do that?
And
how did you weave that in?
Well, I'll show
was
you.
One of them a eunuch? I'm playing. My
wife's gonna be so mad when she sees that. Aunt and Val, we love you. By the way, it was a good word.
Amen.
The whole word will preach. What you got going big?
What you got going big
is the story of the eunuch. So I think it's Acts 8.
Yeah.
Well, the premise of that whole talk is this concept that Philip is led up down to this desert road.
Yes.
I was at a party not too long ago. When I walked in, I saw some people. It was very successful people. You kind of walk in. Immediately you kind of feel inferior. Like, what am I doing here? I'm a pastor. These are all like tech heads and intellectuals, a lot of them not Christians. And I saw a familiar face and he kept just hitting me with, like, come on, tell me what you got? What's happening? What else? What's big? He kept going, what's big? That's what it was. What's big? What's big? And I kept answering the question, but he kept following with like, Vic, you hit me. I'm going, all right, Rich, welcome to the big podcast. Tell us what's big in your life. And I tell you something, you're like, cool. What else? What else big? I'm like, I don't have any more big things, like I'm raising children. That's as big as it gets. And just the idea of that talk being like, sometimes you can look around and other people's bigness can make you feel small. And you can look at your thing and go, this is not big. And Philip is led to a desert road all by himself to preach to one Ethiopian eunuch. Of course, he preaches to him.
Yes.
And he baptizes him. And as he baptizes him, God teleports Philip to another town 30 miles away. And
I want that.
As he gets to that town, he's preaching to a crowd and the town. And I think in today's standards, the desert road, metaphorically or quite literally, feels quite small and quite insignificant. It's a desert. Let's start with that. And there's one dude. It's not a conference. It's not a moment. It's this one guy. The town where people are getting healed and feels like the crowd, feels like something big. And one looks so much bigger than the other. But what I think is powerful is that he was led to the desert and then he was taken to the town. And we live in a time right now where so many of us would rather be spirit taken instead of being spirit led.
Wow.
And no doubt, God can take you.
Sure.
But more often than not, he will lead you. So if he hasn't taken you yet, trust that he's leading you now. And I see it as an encouragement that God can get you where he needs you to be at, but maybe where he has you right now is where he wants you to be.
Yes, sir.
So be faithful. The powerful closing hook as the preacher is most theologians and most scholars would say that Ethiopian eunuch took the gospel to the continent of Africa. So you tell me, what you got going big, Philip?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe a continent, bro.
Yeah.
And so the powerful thing here is the one that was much bigger over time, the Van Gogh of the story, was the eunuch on the desert road. It just doesn't happen in the time frame that we want it to. It doesn't happen right before our eyes. Dude, I can teach someone how to grow. I just can't teach you how to grow overnight. I can only teach you how to grow over time.
Yes.
And so many of us would rather swell instead of grow. And I want to be a person that I don't sell out for the swell. Yeah. But I stay tuned for the growth. And for the wedding, how did I connect the dot? I think I connect the dot with just going, the two of you are coming together and it's a miracle. And I always try to teach something new on marriage. I try to write an individual sermon for everybody that I marry. I think marriage is such a beautiful concept. It's all over the Bible. The Bible opens with a wedding, closes with a wedding. It's God's favorite metaphor of love. And so I think as preachers, we got to keep using it. So I can't remember how I ended it, but I was ending with just saying something, the idea about who knows what God's bringing together. There's going to be kids, there's going to be a future. And I think about Acts chapter 8. I think I just told it, so who knows what this marriage holds? Maybe a continent, maybe a nation.
Maybe a nation. Come on, bro. All right, just a brief interruption to the episode to let you know that October the 8th through the 10th, we are hosting our annual Legacy Conference. This is going to be our biggest conference ever. It is at Nashville Municipal Auditorium, which is a small arena in downtown Nashville. If you have been waiting on an opportunity to come visit this city, get in the presence of God and have an encounter with the Holy Spirit, this is the time. Legacy Conference, October the 8th through the 10th. Tickets are on sale. You can get VIP tickets by the stage, on the floor. You can get general admission tickets, which is in the bowl. We're going to have amazing guests. We've got my friends Robert Madu, Jackie Hill Perry, Abby Gamboa, Brian and Jen Johnson. This is going to be an epic conference, dare I say, an encounter. So please get a ticket today. Make plans to be with us. It's going to be awesome. LegacyCon.com, or you can just go down below in the description. You'll see all kinds of links. We'll help you there. Can't wait to see you in Nashville. Rich, I know you know this, but the communicator that you are is such a blessing to so many people, bro. Seriously, I love your preaching. And I want to just throw this out there. Bro, DC, your bride.
She's something.
She could be better.
She's not could. She is. She is.
Heaters.
She's something.
Just throwing fastballs.
She's
just we ain't getting no change-ups from her, bro. It's just fastballs all day long, and they're straight over the plate. Every time. Every message that she has preached that I have been there for has marked my life.
I agree.
I am not overstating this.
No.
I'm telling you, bro, marked my life. She talked about at the pastor's conference
That was
about
something. Yeah.
fire,
Oh my God.
salt, and oil, and about being re-seasoned.
Yeah, and I never heard none of that, by the way.
Bro, it became a prophetic word. We didn't even realize it. For our team, we went into a season that we called the re-season, and I got a cast iron skillet, a large cast iron skillet off Amazon, and I put it up in our offices because
Jeez.
the impact of that word. And then when we came out, and we were a part of VOUCon, and she spoke on the last session about, and she unveiled the pregnancy announcement.
Can I get an amen?
Oh my gosh.
No,
Bro,
she's
just heaters.
she's a weapon.
There's two questions I have in that. I know a lot of people today, young leaders, church planters, they are trying to figure out how to plant with their bride or with their husband. If it's a spouse, like they're trying to figure it out. Like, how do I do this together? Do you have any tidbits of advice for young church planters that are trying to figure out, like, how do I do this together? Because there are not a lot of blueprints for this.
Yeah.
And I think you in DC, bro, maybe you wouldn't agree, but I think you guys, you know how like Billy Graham was like America's pastor, right? You guys, to me, are like the millennials pastor. You are representative
I love you. I love you. I don't think
everything wonderful about our generation. Like you got, like we're all like, just lead us. Rich in DC, we vote for you. The ballot has been cast.
I think that's just you, but I love you very much.
No, it is true, bro. Like we all adore you. We love how you communicate. We love how you lead. We love how the two of you are connected. I mean, your wife is so sweet. She's so precious, and yet she's a powerhouse. And bro, like how you lead and how you move, you just create so much space for everybody to feel safe under your leadership. And it's something I deeply admire about you guys. So how do you lead together, bro?
You're very kind. You said
I mean that.
A lot of kind things, and it's very encouraging to me. I think encouragement's such a powerful thing, right? Because we all have blind spots, and anyone who's listening, this is not to answer the question, but just affirming people and saying what you see matters. Don Shree and I think first and foremost, if you're in ministry, you have to do it together. Let's start with that. Number one, you have to do it together. So let's definitely talk about doing it together. Second part to the answer is you don't have to do it like us.
Yeah.
And that's what I get scared for and concerned for people is I got to do it like them. Don Shree and I met when we were 17 years of age in Nashville, Tennessee.
Come on, bro.
I walked onto this ground. I said, ooh.
Yep.
That first
felt
love's
it.
coming back, man.
Them glory goosebumps hit you.
I say this with all confidence too. This is the most I've ever enjoyed my marriage. This is the most I've ever been in love with Don Shree. We've always had a good marriage.
Yes.
We've had our ups and downs. We've had our real challenges. We've done everything, you know what I'm saying? But this is, I think, the happiest we've been as a couple. And she's pregnant with our fourth. We're 18 years in, 22 years together. But this is the happiest and most fulfilled I've ever been in my marriage. And it's a crazy, crazy time. But I'm saying that, I've said that 3 times in the last 2 months. But you don't have to do it like us. We grew up together. We met when we were 17, went to college together eventually. She was doing music out here in Nashville, but we ended up going to Lee University, not too far from here in Cleveland, Tennessee.
Y'all went to Lee University?
Yep. I was there a year before. She came and joined me after doing a year of music here in Nashville. She was on a label. She toured with Plus One. She did Christian pop music. If you ever find her pop record, it's actually so dope. I'll get it for you. I had no idea. Real, bro. Like it was fire.
So this is why she's so involved as a producer for VOUS worship.
She grew up in studios singing with her mom wrote children's kids worship music, and she was in studios her whole life.
This makes sense to me.
She is a professional.
VOUS is signed to Rethink. Is that correct?
I think so. I don't even know all the back end. She handles all the back end.
This is how I know this because
they're going to be upset, by the way, if they find out, because I haven't talked to any of them. I probably
anyways.
I think it's Capital.
It is Capital.
That is Rethink?
Yeah, Rethink is their imprint.
Of course. We gotta edit this probably, bro.
Yeah, it's okay. So the only reason why I know this is because the person that we speak with for the label, because we're on the same label.
Kiki?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I know Kiki.
Yeah, Kiki. Shout out Kiki Carter.
I just don't know who he works for, but I love him.
Yeah. Bro, he's the best.
Cool.
And he was telling me, he was like, bro, like DC texts me every week. Like she's on it. Like she's so heavily involved, like in the worship and in the production of the music. Like it's wild. And she is a G.
Yeah.
Like she knows her stuff. So I didn't know this about her background, but I did know from Kiki, like she's really involved.
Oh, we're both.
Had no idea.
I think DC and I date all through college. We majored in business, minored in Bible. We did all the same classes together. We both graduated together. We were both in sister sorority, fraternity, president of all that stuff. We just done so much life together.
Yeah.
And she genuinely is my other side. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
It's not like me trying to be romantic or it's I don't, are we codependent? Of course. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know of any of the world. We've just grown up together. We moved to Miami to start serving my parents. And I would say that I probably am more ambitious and driven and pace setting. She's much smarter, much more prophetic, much holier. Much smarter is a big part of it, but she's competitive probably with me. So if I've got a pace, she's right there with me. You know what I'm saying? If I said tomorrow we're done and we're going to go live in a log cabin and not talk to the world, she'd be like, I'm with you. Like,
yeah,
so
she's good.
I feel like it's just a really unique setup of how we went. She never wanted to preach. She didn't want to do that. I said, I can't preach every week on Tuesday nights. I don't know how to, you're really smart. She would get up there and just preach the house and people would just go, what was that? And she's like, and she wasn't like false humble. She just wasn't into it. I didn't have some vision for my wife to be all the world. It was just more like, yo, I don't know how to write enough sermons. Like she's helped me. She would help me write my sermons.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I would like for years, even to this day, we still kind of like, these days she'll write stuff and I'm not really a part of it. She's always involved with something I'm saying or making it better. I really think she started preaching out of like need, not because she wanted to. Yeah. Not because she had any level of like vision for that. She did it begrudgingly. And I did it because I was like, dude, there's nobody else here to talk and I have to have you do this with us. And of course, I think the rest really becomes history because I think we started the church and it's like, same thing. I think it's like, all right, Rich, we're starting a church. I'm like, I feel like we're supposed to. And she's just been by my side in all of that. I think the way that we lead together is that I think as we grow, it's paying attention to what our strengths are. When you're saying this to me right now, it's life-giving because she just had her 40th birthday and I prophesied over her 40th birthday. I think her next 10 years is going to be a whole nother landscape. There's something quite tangible on her life that's far outside of me. It's far outside of even what we're doing at home. She's finishing a book right now that I weep reading this book.
Oh, come on, man.
It's unbelievable writing. It's not, God's got something on her life. I think my job in all of that is to call that out, to affirm her, and to do everything in my power to show up in the areas where she has gaps and weaknesses. So she's not going to push it. I'm good at that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I feel like that's what I want to do for my wife. And I want to try to create space and all the stuff that she doesn't need to be doing. I think right now she's carrying our 4th child. There's a bunch of stuff in the last 2 or 3 years that I've had to take on more so in the church because of the pace that she's been able to keep up with. But I have to value what she brings. I feel very celebrated and respected by my wife. I've never ever wondered for a second if my wife thinks there's a better man out there than me. Right. She's just always made me feel like I'm the man. And to this day, she makes me feel that way.
And there's not a better man out there than you. Come on,
but man. She just makes it easy. And so I think what I would feel bad for people is going like, I got to open I don't know, this is really small, but I feel like people that are listening to this that really care is going to be people that are somewhat in the same thing that we're doing. Yes. A lot of people that are listening right now are like, what are you talking about? But like, I got to open the conference and my wife has to close it, or like, you got to do this, or no. And I don't think every wife has to preach. And I feel like every husband shouldn't put that on their wife. Right. I think what every husband should try to do is create a space that her voice is valued. So that's big to me. Yes, sir. I don't care what your world looks like, if she's on staff or not. I think they all should be on staff, by the way, because y'all are doing way too much stuff. Yeah. But like, maybe she's not a preacher. Don't put that on her, but make sure that her voice is heard in the right places, and make sure that you're not out there all the time like you got this as the man. Like, no, this girl is covering me. I love my friends Mike and Natalie. Like, Natalie doesn't like to be on the mic. Yes. But Mike is so wise and has opened so many doors to make sure, well, it's not open doors. Mike has made sure that there's space that when she speaks, y'all are listening. Oh, bro. And he does it probably better than what I've seen. He does it so well. Allison and I were talking about that the other day. I mean, amazing. Just how well he does that. He's wise. He really is. And he loves Jesus. Because I think Natalie's not, she don't love that part. By the way, every time she opens up her mouth and kind of public study, it's like amazing. Powerful. I would just say that to everyone. It's like, you don't have to do it together. You have to do it together. Yeah. You do not have to do it like us. What do I mean by together? those of you that are single listening to this and you're trying to be in the ministry, it is not one person has the calling, the other person doesn't. They don't have to do this for a career and a job, but they have to be heart and soul in this. It will not work. That person's either your greatest asset or your greatest liability. They're either pushing you forward or pulling you back.
Yeah.
So if you're getting married to someone, they have to have this calling too.
Yes.
I'm with you heart and soul. I'm not going to preach on the stage, but I'm going to be with you every step of the way. I'm going to understand the sleepless nights. I'm going to try to lean into the spiritual burden and the weight of all this thing. So they got to be called to it. They've got to love people. They've got to love the church. They've got to give what they can provide into it. Like there has to be a joint side of this is harmonious on both sides, that we're both in this. And that to me is what I mean by doing it together.
Yes, sir.
And I see a lot of people, they don't get that right, where it's like, and they try to put things on them or try to repeat things that are not actually what your personality is. Don Shree has never been ambitious to be a preacher all over the place. And to this day, it's like the Lord has done that.
Yes.
And I'm thankful for it. I think she has to steward that, and that's up to her.
Yeah.
But the Lord has done that, and she kind of got into that thing, not wanting to do it. So if you're out there right now and you're a couple and one of you is like, hey, I think some of you should do this, and you're not wanting to do it, you're okay.
Yeah.
Maybe take some risks here and there and give yourself time. Like, let's see how God begins to breathe on that gift. And you get better with time too.
Amen.
Right?
You do.
Someone's like, you ever preach a bad message? I'm like, last week for me.
Yeah,
but,
come on, man.
But it's like, you get better over time. And
you when you're preaching and your face is like hot because you're like, I don't even know what I'm saying.
Oh,
like, I don't even know what I'm saying.
We should do that.
Next.
Let's do that for a little bit. Let's do awful preaching experiences.
Oh, bro, I think I was the most nervous preaching ever the first time I preached at Bethel, because I just kept thinking about Bill Johnson and his wisdom. And I'm like, what in the world am I going to say? Like, there's no way that I could say anything that's going to be good. Like,
so would you like over prepare for that?
Over prepared. I still remember the name of the message. It was called A Miracle in Our Midst.
That's a great message.
Right? Well, you think it, but
you
it was
you don't think it went good?
Oh, I just bombed. Just like everybody was just like.
You didn't bomb.
Well, my wife said I did good, but.
You did good. You know what's amazing about someone? Let me encourage you with this too. But I'll tell you some horror stories.
This is prophetic hindsight, because this happened like 10 years ago and I need healing. So speak into my heart.
The best thing about preaching, and these are just some hacks, the best thing about preaching is nobody knows what you intended to do.
That's true.
And
that's true.
And even your bombing is not really bombing, bro.
Yeah,
yeah. You know what my go-to is when I'm like nervous?
What is it?
I don't prepare.
You don't prepare.
And Don Shree gets really mad. Yeah.
You don't prepare ever.
No, I totally prepare. I'm saying like, let's say I'm going somewhere big.
Yes.
I lay off that, like it's not a good thing. I'm saying it's almost like my nerves is almost like procrastination. Let me not choose.
Yeah.
And then when I get there, it's like,
I get that.
I got too many things in the bag.
I get that.
And I should have
just latch onto one.
Yeah.
When was the last time you were nervous preaching?
Week to week. I don't do good. Like even tonight, like I don't do good at like, man, I want to bring them a word.
Yeah.
The problem is like the only word I got is what I said last Sunday.
I get that.
How do I find the time to bring them a word? I can preach something, but I want to bring a word to Legacy.
Yes.
And I don't know, I don't have the bandwidth to find that. So it's not about is something new, old. It's like, is this thing alive and hot inside of me? And so I'm hot every Sunday, bro. I don't think,
you are.
I rarely feel like I don't preach good at home, although I don't preach good at home. I'm just saying it's because whatever I got there on Sunday,
it's burning.
I've been on that thing all week.
Yes, sir.
But when I go to like Elevation, I'm like, man, like,
what do I
hear
preach?
From me 3 times this year? Like, snap, bro. Like, I don't know. Like,
and when you're
preaching
that's hard for Pastor Stephen Furtick, I mean, come on, bro. GOAT.
The best. I love him.
Like the best communicator of our generation,
the best.
Right? Like he's just top tier. So we all want to be like him when we grow up. And I've never met him actually, but he's just the best, most
he would
wonderful.
Love you and you would love him. He's amazing.
One day perhaps we'll have that opportunity and I'll get the chance to, ask him to lay hands on me and just
he's
impart
amazing.
Something that preacher gives.
But that would be my thing. If I'm preaching there, I would be very late decided. Like tonight, I'm late decided.
Okay, yeah.
Whereas maybe you would go like 2 weeks out. I'm going to preach them or tell me
No. And that's why that was where I was going. I was going to ask you this. So like, yeah, I think as a pastor, because we're preaching every week, it's like we have that burning word that we want to share. Like when When I'm
I
traveling.
think there's tons of guys that don't feel that, by the way. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm just saying, for me, when I look back on 8 years of pastor every week, I get up in that pulpit, I would say 90% of the time, let's try to be honest, going, I got something to say.
Yeah, 90%.
And you know when you don't.
And you know when you don't.
We've done it, we don't. But I'm saying.
You know when you don't. You know when you don't.
Whether this is good.
Because people think that
this,
like traveling and preaching and doing all this is like, oh yeah, that would be so much fun if I could do that. But when you're showing up at an event, at another church or a conference, like people are expecting to be fed. Like there is a good pressure on you to bring a word.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to step up into the pulpit unprepared, dishonor God, dishonor the people. And so you want to have that burning word, but it's not easy. If you're preaching 60, 70, 80 times a year, like that's not easy. I know why the Apostle Paul said those who labor in preaching and teaching, because you're laboring. Like that's what they call when you give birth to a baby. You know, you're laboring in the preaching of the word. I heard one pastor say, preaching every Sunday is like giving birth every Sunday and then finding out you're pregnant on Monday. And it's true because it never stops. When's the last time you were nervous preaching? Do you get nervous at home anymore, or is it like preaching for people
I would get nervous at home. I'm trying to think when I was really, really nervous preaching.
Do you ever get nervous when you see somebody in the crowd that you like know and you can't believe is at your church? No, you don't. Of course, that's just me.
No, probably. I'm trying to think. Like, we just had Heart and Soul.
Yes.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Looked incredible, by the way.
And it's just a night where, there's a lot of expectation. And it's all insiders. It's like, it's Heart and Soul. It's very minimal kind of promotion. I always had a dream that, like, and I still have this dream that we're going to do 2 of these Wednesday nights in the year, and that one day we're going to be in an arena just for Heart and Soul, which is like, it's a leaders night.
Yes.
And it's not advertised. It's a leaders night. And we talk to them like they're leaders.
Yes.
But man, it was 1,700 people.
Incredible.
Pouring down rainstorm in Miami.
Come on.
90% of the room's full before the first song, which is a miracle in Miami. People are just so late, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think I just felt maybe the pressure, like, do I actually have something to say? And in those moments, maybe this is not what you do. This is what I do. What I do is I lean on, it's not what I'm going to say. It's who I am. So Lord, let me be fully who I am that you've called me to be.
Amen.
I know the word is in me.
Yes.
Whether or not I've got it polished and pretty,
Yeah.
and the bar that's going to drop or the insight that's going to, can I just bring me to this moment?
Yes.
And I would say that to everybody. It's who you are more than what you do.
That's right.
I've just been doing this thing for a long time.
I believe that.
I believe we've got more to do, but I don't think it's for me. I think there's other people that their word is like, wow, you're preaching. I think my preaching is a part of who I am. I think people are drawn to it. I'm grateful to hear anyone that says that they connect to it. But I feel like when I'm able to bring the totality of who I am to a moment, I'm able to encourage people. And I think when I'm building my church, I don't like it when I'm living nervous in front of them, because I just want to go, nah, my job is to build a community. And no matter what I'm going to say, it's going to be helpful.
Yes.
As long as it's from the Bible.
Yes.
And let me just go up there and be me.
So good, man.
And I felt like Wednesday night we had a powerful night. But I've had those nights before I got done and I was like, I didn't hit it right.
Yeah. You go home and you're kind of punching yourself like, wow, I should have said this, should have said that, missed it, that was bad.
And I think what we feel like, because what I'm trying to say is you haven't bombed. You went up there and you said truth from the word.
Yes.
You did so with a kind heart.
Yes.
You did so courageously. What you feel at times is not connected. And there's a difference, right, between coming on here and like, did Lyle and I connect? I don't even know what we're talking about. I'm going, I feel very connected to you. See, let's talk about whatever.
Yes.
What should everything I said today be taken 100% as like, I should write that down and use that for now. I think there's a connection happening. I think in that moment is what becomes powerful. And so I think when preaching, that's what I'm always looking for. Did I make a connection
Yes,
to these people? Did I feel loved by them? Did they feel loved by me? And
I agree.
Now as I'm giving any level of truth, there's so much stuff being said. It's hitting people all over the place.
I think that's the most underrated attribute of preaching, is connecting with people, because I could have some heavy revy, right? I mean, just a good word.
Yes.
But if I don't connect with people, they don't care.
It don't matter.
And if they don't like me, they ain't listening. If they experience me as being arrogant or entitled, like we were talking about earlier, they're not going to listen. They're not taking notes. They don't remember anything other than how I made them feel. And if I did not make them feel good, they're going to.
But if they love you, bro.
If they love
when
you.
I first started the church, Pastor Chris used to always tell me, he'd be like, yeah, we do this or that, but you can't do that yet because they don't love you yet.
Wow. Chris Hodges.
And that used to land with me. It's almost 9 years officially.
Because they don't love you yet.
But you got to remember, if you're a young leader, like some stuff you try to copy Craig Rochelle. It's like, bro,
yes, but they don't love you yet.
30 years, they love that man.
For all of you guys listening right now that preach, I'm telling you what you're getting in this moment. And I mean, who am I to say this? Sit next to you. But what you're getting in this moment is like gold nuggets, man. Like I tell young preachers all the time, it doesn't matter if the message is good. You just be you, because what people are interested in is you more than your message. Like they'll get it if it's not great. They know it's only your third sermon.
Yep.
They're okay with that. They'll overlook the fact it's not polished.
Very good, yeah.
But you have to be you. You have to be yourself. You have to be authentic and just bring yourself.
It sounds so easy.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
But it's difficult. Last question, because I know we have to close soon. We're going to give you the opportunity, to get in prayer. I know you do 2 or 3 hours before every message. 4 hours, yeah.
4 for anniversary services.
Absolutely. We really want to be red hot when you step in. So
you ever been somewhere it's like, let's get you back because you need to go pray. It's like,
hold on.
Are you putting your what? Okay, hold on.
Yeah. I prayed this morning. I was up at 4 a.m., sir.
I want to let you get prepared. You're not prepared.
Yeah.
You going to prepare?
Lock in.
You ready?
You ready?
Born ready.
Born ready, sir. Been ready.
Been ready.
Been ready, man. Here's my last question for you. What's your preparation process like? I know that's kind of a loaded question, but like knowing you have to preach every Sunday, like what's Rich Wilkerson Jr.'s, I want to be clear, Junior, because you're not sharing your dad's preparation process.
I think I'm always in it.
Yeah.
I don't really
always preparing.
I don't
classic.
really think,
you would say that.
Well, I mean it, but I mean, I'll be more practical with it. I'm saying genuinely, if we're being honest, I'm always writing messages. I'm always writing stuff down. I'm always, right now, we're in September. For me, people might find this interesting. I know where I'm going into January. In fact, I think I know what I'm doing in January in terms of a theme, in terms of what I think I'm doing Born Again in January.
Let's go. Yeah, so, that's what we're doing.
Are you? I love it. But,
we are now.
But practically speaking, one of my favorite just study habits for me is I like reading a full book of the Bible like in a sitting. So like taking Exodus, and if we're just talking about study. Yes. I love my own notes on things. Like even this morning, I woke up and I was thinking about some stuff from Joshua as I'm kind of, what's on my heart for these guys tonight? Josh, there's so much there, but like I've got pretty good notes earlier in January of walking through Exodus and the book of Joshua because I was looking at Moses and just walking through my own notes, kind of refreshing. So I love reading a chapter of the Bible. And as I'm going to do my own kind of like, when I use this word, don't be impressed, but very, very minimal commentary. Yes. Maybe it's sound bites. Maybe it's bars. Maybe it's phrases. Maybe it's like questions.
Of course.
So that stuff sits there, I think, in a lot of places as I'm doing things. When I start a collection, I'm in dating Delilah right now. So we're 6 weeks in Samson. I started looking at this stuff in July when I was on break. I have different books. I think I bought 3 different kind of books on Samson, different things. I have a note sheet that would say collection notes for Samson that would not be, maybe you would find it cool, but like it's stream of consciousness. It's probably 20 pages. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like things. It's just like, so that stuff always stays filed, which is like any kind of preaching title, any kind of examples, points. I was in all this stuff teaching on gifts and
in so Google Docs.
Pages.
You write it down on pages.
I could show it to you. Just like it's mess. I think the Samson one right now is close to 30 pages. But got it. Wordplay, phrases. The other day,
I like that.
I think all this stuff about like just gifts. Like my son Wild, who I love so much, he's hilarious. He loves stuff and he loves money. He's 4 years old, loves cash. And I came home the other day and he was diving for cash. Well, he had left a $5 bill in the bottom of the pool. I'm like, bro, what is this? And this is crazy, but he don't know the value of $5. He sees this paper. It's like, if you don't value something, you won't care for it. Oh, okay. If I don't value, that opens up a thread of truth on Samson. Like, why is he never going back to God? Well, he don't really value what God gave him.
Wow.
And so he's got the ability, but he don't have the authority. Oh, that's a bar. Like,
Yes.
so all this stuff I think gets placed
Yes.
places. Tuesdays is my day though. Tuesday's my day. And sometimes I write 2 messages at once.
In one day.
Sometimes I will work on multiple messages and just keep adding to it.
Are they transcribed notes or just kind of
Manuscript.
thoughts?
I do manuscript notes.
My bad, manuscript. So that's how you do. That's what I do as well.
Yeah, almost all my notes are very similar. It's usually the text up front.
Yeah,
It's usually an introduction, there's a title, and then sometimes it's 3 points. Sometimes it's just big observations. It's walking through it. And it's usually, the close is usually, if you look at my stuff, it's usually the close is solidifying in some sort of a, kind of an exhorting kind of a way of what I said in the intro or the answer to the intro usually.
Yes.
But there's lots of different methods. Some people I think we could do another podcast on all that stuff,
Yeah.
Scripture, application, illustration. That's a basic model I've used for years. I give you a scripture, I apply the scripture, and then I illustrate it, whether it's story or
I love that.
case study. But Tuesday, I write. Usually, I love to say I get it done. I don't get it done. At different seasons, I have gotten it done. If my message is done before Friday, oh my gosh, fly into town because we're going to dinner Friday night and you're going to have a great Saturday till about 4.
Absolutely.
But it's usually not the case these days, but I need to get there better just because I got these little kids growing up.
Of course.
But I try to take Friday off, but usually around Saturday morning, I start working on that thing again. And every Saturday come 4:00, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah.
It's got to simmer down.
Yeah. You don't want to overcook it.
Rarely will you see me out.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I'm just person. I'm at the house.
Yeah, chilling.
I'm pretty quiet, and I think a lot of people know me as loud and extroverted. I'm alone. 4 p.m. on.
Yes.
I'm not out of my house, and I'm in my room, and
You're
9
preparing.
o'clock. 9 o'clock.
coming
I'm
into that
asleep, and
space.
5 a.m. I'm awake, and here we go.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
What's yours?
I typically will prep on Thursday and Friday. If I am preaching from a particular text and I know the text on Thursday, I'll just do all commentary on Thursday. And then on Friday, I do all editing. And then on Saturday, I lay out like the one-liners or like things that I'm like, oh, that right there I gotta emphasize that. And then I just pray through my close. And so like I prep way too long, bro. And my notes are absurd. Sometimes I'll go to the pulpit with like 12, 13, 14 pages worth of notes, and they're all manuscript.
Are you looking at? I don't look at notes when I preach.
I mean, I do and I don't.
Because it messes me up.
Yeah, I do and I don't.
But I write notes.
Yeah, bro. No, I can tell. You're never on your notes. Like, there's no preaching clip of you like focused on your podium, and that's something I really respect about your ability to
not
preach.
hard when you're not saying anything. Rich, come on, man. Like we're doing that,
You're ridiculous, man. And you know what also I love that you do is like you shout out different people in the room. And I've started doing that as well.
Yeah.
Like I've stolen that from you. And then from Robert Madu. Robert does this inner monologue of what other people are thinking about what he's saying. Ooh. And he does a voice, like an intonation. He's like, and it's like kind of high pitched. Like, why would he say that? What is he? Like Jim Gaffigan, like when he's doing comedy, he'd be like,
oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like an inner monologue
so
of
smart.
the audience. And Pastor Robert is so good at that. And I haven't quite been able to work that in yet, but eventually I'll get good at it.
But there's also a tactic to it, which is he's able to answer the criticism in a way that produces authority and content. And he can also, in a kind way, make your criticism sound so silly because of using this voice.
Yes.
And why would you even be thinking that? And here's the truth. So it's powerful.
Yeah, these are tools that you get like after a decade deep.
Yeah.
Like you don't typically have this.
And sometimes these are tools that you don't, I think sometimes we have gifts that we're unaware of or that we've never paid attention to. Like it's always important to figure out what you're good at. And a lot of us go through life going, I don't even know how I did that. There's a lot of things that I would do that I'm like, I don't know how I did that. And someone's like, but you got to listen to the certain things that people are drawn to. But that is like, I don't know. Robert's so tactical and so smart. And I think my favorite preacher.
Oh, he's so good.
So I know he's probably conscious on something like that, but you might listen to that and go, oh, that's just funny. It is funny and funny's helpful, but it's also helping us digest something. And it's also silencing where there might be a protest or there might be a criticism.
Yes.
I just dealt with that quickly.
He told me afterwards, we were chatting after VOUCon, and he was like, bro, I was so nervous. Like when I stood up, and he said, that's why I took a drink of Cody Carnes water.
Oh yeah, that was
He was like, I was so nervous. He was like, I didn't know what I was doing. I'm like up there getting ready. I'm like, God, let this be good. And I saw that water bottle and I had like dry mouth. And
when he tells me he gets nervous, I'm like, bro, will you just stop with
I know.
that, dude? For years, Robert and I have sat in hotel rooms all over the world. And I'm like, bro, you're the best preacher, and you don't, because he obsesses with his preparation, hence why he's turned out so great. By the way, maybe I should just do what he does, because we
should all do what he does.
Yeah, we should all actually prepare, because I'm always like, bro, it's just you, bro. He's like, no, I got to prepare for this. And I'm like, I just feel like whenever he opens his mouth, what he's saying is so good, full of wisdom.
Something you're saying is something that I'm reminded of. You said to me the last time we talked, you said you got to brand what people demand. And like, just lean into your strengths, man. Like, just you be you, and people love you being you. And so just brand what people demand. And that's just been a key phrase that I've taken from you.
Something tells me we're going to start doing a lot of content together.
Really?
I think so.
That sounds like God.
I feel like that sounds what.
Can you finish this though? Will you tell the people to like subscribe and like whatever you say? Because this is your bag.
So do us a favor. Go ahead and like, subscribe, share this content. Leave us a comment. We're going to be coming to a city near you. We'll be in Minneapolis in March. We'll be in St. Paul in June. We're coming through Austin. We'll look out for you guys there.
ATX.
And of course, we'll be ending everything right there in Waxahachie and Southwestern University. Shout out.
Goodbye.